Hi there. Here's a quick update for you about some sort of temporal marker events that are going to happen that are signals of the coming impending collapse of the US dollar. And this is going to change a lot of things. It's going to really be a problem for most people. Those who are prepared with the right assets, of course, are going to wind up being very, very successful upon these events. And of course, I've been trying to get through to people, but you can't lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink, right? So it's just one of those things where those of you who hear me, congratulations. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you. So this is a marker for the coming collapse of the dollar and something that will happen very, very close to the timing of that happening. Those of you who have been following me for a while know when I have predicted. I have an actual date that I predicted. It's on my website over here, auraright.media. If you want that date, go to my website and type in When Venus and Pluto Collide, because it's a poem I wrote and it has a date on it. So, but I'm not, go to my website to get that information. But here's the deal. This is a very significant temporal marker. This is something I predicted would happen back in 2019, 2020. I was predicting this is going to happen. Deutsche Bank will fail. Deutsche Bank is going to fail. Deutsche Bank is a huge European bank, all right? And in fact, I have another bank also that I've been telling my members for the past year is also probably going to fail, or at least one of these two will be the indicator that the US dollar is weeks away from falling apart, okay? Deutsche Bank, of course, being a huge bank that is a very manipulative bank that has done all kinds of, JP Morgan style shenanigans, and they will go under. And they will go under weeks before the US dollar does. Okay, so JP Morgan is tied to them, but they're not going under. They have stockpiled the corner on the silver market. So JP Morgan isn't going to go under right now that way. They can actually go under later because they are losing control of their control mechanisms. But this isn't about JP Morgan. This is about Deutsche Bank, which is going to fail. Deutsche Bank will fail. And it will be a temporal marker for the collapse of the US dollar. Okay, so watch for that because it's going to happen first over there in Europe. Europe's going to have some very big problems, a collapse of Deutsche Bank, and also look for Lloyd's of London to collapse. That's the other one, or at least be in the headlines and have a lot of news about it. Now, Deutsche Bank has been in the news quite a bit in the last 4 to 6 months. It's been mentioned in association with some of these big stories like First Brands and the bankruptcy and the collapse of and the rehypothecated collateral, meaning these companies have gotten loans from multiple banks on the same collateral. If you did that with your mortgage, with your house, they'd throw you in jail. You'd be arrested real fast for doing something like that. But these companies like First Brands and Tricolor have been doing these things. And so they are belly up. And so the banks that own their collateral, that hold their collateral, are holding the bag because they have made loans on collateral that they can't collect on because it belongs to multiple different banks. All right. That's what's going to bring down Deutsche Bank ultimately. And Lloyd's of London is a different issue. Lloyd's of London is attached to the silver thing. And I'm laughing because in just a couple of weeks ago, I talked about, there's pirates out there, right? And then just after that, the U.S. started seizing oil tankers and Russian ships and, all of these things because there's pirates out there. And we are some of them, and some of them are other people out there capturing ships, okay? And the thing with whatever silver's left is that it's being shipped around the world because it's being captured. It's being bought off the COMEX and being shipped essentially away from the US and away from the UK and over to other countries, right? To China, to Russia, to India. Of course, Russia can't directly buy it, but they are doing it through their proxy people. So the pirates out there going after those silver hauls are... they're basically going to bankrupt Lloyd's of London because Lloyd's of London insures the silver cargo. That's the bank that does it. And they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to replace the cargo. They're not going to be able to replace the silver when the silver gets stolen. Because it's going to. Because there's pirates out there on the high seas. We've been seeing this already. I said it a couple weeks ago. Here in my, I'm not sure if it was, probably was like my Monday weekly astrology forecast video. I said, out there on the seas. And that's what we're seeing. Okay. Some of them are us. Some of them are other people too. So this shipping thing is a big deal. And just a little side note about history, in case you guys don't know, there was a point at which Spain was one of the richest countries in the world. They had a lot of silver and they had a lot of gold, and they were really doing very well. And this was, I think, back in the 17 or 1800s. They had these galleons that they would be trading across the oceans, and they were feeling themselves. They were doing great, right? And then one of their ships was sunk, and it was loaded with silver and gold doubloons, and it sank, and it bankrupted the entire country. The whole country of Spain was bankrupted, and that was the end of the height of the glory of the Spanish culture and the Spanish dominance and the Spanish prosperity, was when the silver went down into the ocean. I don't think that's been recovered. So there might be some really cool treasure hunters out there who go and find it. That's like, I love that romantic idea. So yeah, someday it will be recovered. But that is what collapsed an entire country, was the loss of their silver and gold, but their silver that was on that ship. It was mostly silver on that particular ship. So just a little tidbit for you on history. History has a way of, repeating, rhyming, because people tend to do the same stuff because they have the same beliefs, because they don't fix them. Okay. And so world leaders and government officials tend to do the same stuff because they're just going off the same playbook they've always gone off before. And then they think they can fix it when the collapse is coming, because they know that the dollar is going to lose all of its value because they keep printing more of it. So they think they can fix it with crypto. They're trying this new thing. But, usually you want to test a new thing before you roll it out for prime time. Anyway, that's the whole thing about Deutsche Bank will fail. Be prepared. Deutsche Bank is going to go under, and that will be a warning that will tell you that we are about to see the US dollar go kaput. And by going kaput, that means like you're going to hear it. It'll be on the news. The public, the politicians, the officials are going to be freaking out. You might even hear of somebody jumping out of a window. People will freak out. They will lose their cookies, especially the JP Morgan types who have had a stranglehold, by the throat of the US dollar for a long time. So it's going to really take those people down. It's karma. It's coming to the surface. It's going to be everything coming back around and closing the loop. So remember, you heard it here first. Deutsche Bank will fail. I've been saying it to members for a long time, but I'm sure other people will pick it up and now say it. But, maybe that's confirmation, or maybe they're copying. I don't know. Just know that you heard it here first. And if you want the best information the soonest, make sure you subscribe to auraright.media, the website that's free to subscribe to. To become a member is not, but to just become on the mailing list of the website is free. And also my Telegram group, which is in the link in the description box below, is also free to join. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.